All right, we got Kesha McLeod in here today. Said the name right. I'm doing good so far.
That means it's going to be a good interview.
All right, and you do all kinds of celebrity stylists.
I do.
Harden, Serena Williams, the list goes on and on and on. So to start with, where did you actually grow up at?
I grew up in Queens, New York, a town, Jamaica, Queens, which some people are familiar with. Grew up there, went to high school, everything, and decided to just kind of branch out when it came to college and kind of get out of that neighborhood because you can kind of just stay there and it can kind of be repetitive. And so I was one of the ones, I don't want to say got out as in something that was like a bad neighborhood and like, oh my God, I was released, but it was, I didn't want to stay in that bubble or confined to like a certain space. And so I guess styling kind of opened the world for me to see and brought me plethora of opportunities.
Yeah, like I'm from Pennsylvania, and the people in PA are still in PA doing the same thing 20 years later. So if you don't get out,
you're
going to do the same thing every day.
Yeah, and it's not saying as, I'm sure your neighborhood wasn't bad, but, we just sometimes want to see what else is out there and just broaden the scope.
Yeah, but the other ones, like, they get content. They're content with their 9 to 5. They come home, they watch the 6 o'clock news every day, and if you
Jeopardy
live there.
At 7, and just easy for everyone
Jeopardy.
to do the same thing.
Yeah, so that's what they do. So now, you're in New York, you figure out it's time to get out of there. Now, what made you interested in fashion, and why did you decide that, okay, I think I have a niche here? What was it that sparked that where you were like, okay, this is what I want to do, or this is my avenue?
Well, I always had a sense of style, but the way I approach fashion and style was always like kind of psychological. And I looked into how I would view a person, and that's how I kind of picked up like, oh, this is what they do and this is what they want. And so at 14 and 15, I worked in a mall, and I worked at 3 of the hottest stores in the mall, which brought a lot of talent and celebrity and, the big guys of the neighborhood and all of those things. And so it kind of broadened me to a scope of this is where the money is. And it was that glitz, glam, that beauty, those baubles, and I wanted to be there. Did I know what it was called then? No. And at the time, I'm a 15-year-old dressing these 30-year-old men and their wives, and people are listening to me, and I'm dictating how someone feels. And for someone to be in that age where I am, just in high school, and you kind of don't know where your future is, you're dictating people's lives. And I had to realize that the control I had, and how can I make this a thing? And I think that's what we all do. Like, how can we make this one thing a bigger and broader scope? And went to school and interned and led my way here.
So really you got into it because you got into the high-end stores, and then the big guys are coming in, big women coming in to get the Louis, Gucci, whatever it may be.
See, it wasn't those stores. It was do you remember Iceberg, Aniche,
yeah.
Tommy Hilfiger, Jabot, all of those. And remember, all of those pieces were, a T-shirt is $220. North Face jacket is $600. A Vans and an Avirex, those are $1,000 and $1,200. I'm selling 4 at a time easily, or I'm selling to a whole family with a matching head. And my manager is like, "What is she telling them? Like, what else could she tell them?" But it's the confidence I gave people, and it kind of leads me to where I am with my clients. And it's what I tell them is it's kind of just remaining themselves, and you give them that push, and that's kind of how I use a lot of my, I guess, formula today.
That makes a lot of sense because I know, like, if I go in there to get like a belt, even just a store that I go in a lot, a good sales rep, they'll remember your name. Hey, Tommy, how are you? And then you start.
Like it. Now you're starting to talk to them, and now you're like, let me see that shirt.
Yeah.
All right. What you got new? Like, I believe you. I trust you. You know what? You were right. I went out last night and I did feel good. And so it was a lot of that. And my managers, every retail job I had, I always got promoted to manager within 2 weeks because I was quick and I had the gift of gab. It was easy. I can always sell.
What was the shirt that came out? It was huge. I tried to get into the jeans, but they were a little bit too tight.
For who? What brand?
It starts with B. I bought the stupid T-shirt. It was like $600-$700.
Balmain?
Balmain. Balmain.
Man.
Really? I've been
All
calling
man.
it Balmain.
Yeah, French.
Yeah, okay. Remember the jeans with the pockets? And the T-shirt was like $600?
Yeah, they're still good. Olivier is amazing. He's now which is so crazy, full circle of everything, like one of my fashion friends now. So, I mean, they're just really amazing over there in everything they do. Mm-hmm.
See, and I can relate to that because the lady will call me. She knows kind of like my style. I had a different company where I had to wear like a lot of suits and stuff like that. And we got the report like you're talking about. And she'd be like, hey, Tommy, we got this in. I think you like it, but we only got one pair. Right. Meanwhile, there's probably 20 back there.
It's a yes and no. So how it would go, and I'm just pulling back of just like working in stores, right? It would be one store for that region. Yeah. So it is. So it might be 6 in the world. That's about it. So yeah, they do technically would have one, or they technically would have two. What are you, like a 28 waist or something like that?
Yeah, 29.
Yeah, 28.
I like Paige.
Yeah.
You like Paige jeans?
Yeah, I know. I like Paige.
They're comfortable, right? And I got a wide foot, so if I'm gonna wear like a dress shoe, it's got to be Gucci. Ferragamo kills my feet.
Really?
It's too narrow.
But Ferragamo goes wide.
I have a couple pair, but I have to have the guy put the thing in. How they can put it in and then they turn it,
stretch it out,
and then I come in back in a week.
Ferragamo does really well with my athletes because they often are wide. Them and Allen Edmonds. That's another good one when you don't want to go so high. So those 3, and sometimes, but not often, Tom Ford. If we're gonna stay high end, they would be good too. But honestly, I would tell everyday people go to Zappos.com and type in, but Allen Edmonds is the best one for like every day.
Is Louboutin for men's? Are they narrow?
It can be.
I always tried to get them, but they never had my size.
Yeah, they're narrow. What are you?
I'm a 6 in Euro.
Yeah.
Like in sneakers, like regular, like say like Adidas or Nike to run, I'm an 8.5.
8.5. Yeah, but that's what I was gonna say.
Yeah, I'm a 6.
Yeah, 39
Euro. Yeah, 39. Yeah, not like you don't know. You know what I mean?
No, it's I think over time, then that also was another thing. I know how to size people. Yeah. Easily, so I do like a blue. It's like a weird eye blue scan size, and I could get all of the things. And that's why I'm really good at size. It's creepy when people go, how you know? I don't know. It's just a weird thing.
It seems to me that that's like your niche because you can look at somebody and say, hey, this looks good. Like you obviously have a good personality. Like we were joking around before you came in. I don't even know you. My friend Terry over here.
No, me and you work.
I'm just bad. He's a good guy. But it's just interesting that, that's how everything started. You work at the store at a young age, you like it, you start to look at people and be like, hey, you could use this. And now these people aren't used to that.
Right. And they're not used to someone comforting them because at the end of the day, it's money. And I always tell people, bottom line is money. Everybody wants it. And how can you, I guess, appease someone without trying to grab their pockets?
Right. And you go in, know damn well.
Yeah, not saying I do that with my clients, but it's just even with corporations, at the end of the day, everybody has a bottom line. And what is that bottom line, and what is going to make it? And so I do it to where it's not selfishly looking like that because it doesn't have to be that. You can be your own person, but in corporation world and their language, bottom line is the cash dollar, the green. And so if I understand that language and understand my client's language, I meet a happy medium for everybody. I'm easy to work with.
And that's how you got where you are. So it's a really good backstory because, you go from 14-year-old girl at the store, figuring out, oh, well, this will look good. And then the person comes back and says, Kesha, thank you.
Right.
Wow.
Yeah.
I looked flat. I looked really good last night.
Yep.
Right.
You make things easy.
And then it doesn't become a job anymore for you because you love it. And then it's got to feel good when somebody comes in and says, hey, I felt really good last night, right? So then you evolve from that. So now you got this niche. So now you're done at the stores. Now what's the next step?
The next step is after stores, I ended up working in H&M showroom. And this is when H&M came into the States. So if we remember how it is, and I don't know if your listeners do, H&M was like the biggest boom of it all. We all shopped there. And every single person, you can't say that of course today they're different and they're mainstream, but then it was like European culture coming here that never existed. And it was fast fashion and it was quick. I worked in their showroom. And so again, with something like H&M, what it did was brought celebrities to that showroom because that's what they wore. And I remember seeing a style who's my friend to this day, which is so crazy. Eric Archibald, he was in there shopping for Mariah Carey.
Oh, shit.
And I remember just looking at this talent of what he's doing, but don't know what it's called because he's just shopping and just grabbing things for whatever she needed it for. And I remember asking my boss, like, what is that called? He was like, oh, that's a fashion stylist. That's what they do. They just, buy stuff for people in music video. I didn't know that. I just thought it was a shopper, and to go into it and to understand the history and to go, oh, okay, I think that's what I want to do. Because I don't want to make the clothes. It's already there. Why would I want to do that step? And so I went to Catherine Gibbs, which at the time was a trade school for fashion merchandising and design. And our internships were, everybody went to DKNY and Calvin Klein because they wanted to sew. But I'm like, I'm not doing that. I'm not. I would want to understand how to take clothes apart so I can understand seamstress language to get what I want, but I don't want to touch it. And I ended up going for an internship at Sony Records because I wanted to work under the creative department and not necessarily style. Got the job for 3 days and the guy was like, you do not fit here. This is not you.
Really?
This isn't you, but I have somebody for you. And he sent me to this fashion agency, which who were they? Who were their clients? LeBron, Chris Brown, Rihanna, Neil, you name it. All of those people were
Brown's
just
my favorite.
They were just coming out. They were brand new.
I love Chris.
This is like 2006, and they were the ones who they dictated their style, and so that's kind of where I started and where I assisted and just worked all through school for free. Just letting you guys know I did work for free. Worked for free and worked hard and long and kind of built myself up and made it here. Made relationships. I'm an easy person to get along with, I think. And yeah.
That's funny. Mm-hmm. Yeah, H&M. Remember? Because they would bring everything over from Europe that we couldn't get here.
That we couldn't get. And it was like, what is this? Yeah. And it's $9?
Yeah, and it looks totally different.
And it's totally different. It was good. Men, women, everyone, gowns, you name it. It was all there.
Listen to me, the best button downs with the suit,
we're there.
Like even today, like if I have to go, I still have a couple because I like Eaton and I like Zana a lot. But I'll tell you what, those H&M, like the slim fit button downs, at the time they're just as good. At
the time, they were just as good
now
as
they're
anything.
Shitty,
yeah, it's so bad. And and at that time when it was the H&Ms were coming in, what were we doing? Gap and J. Crew?
Yeah, it was Gap, J. Crew,
Banana Republic. We were
Tommy Bahamas.
Yeah, it was so boring to what we weren't used to, and I had my culture shock there. That was my culture reset to, wow, this is what. So then I move out of Queens and I moved to Harlem. So now I'm in a whole different world from what I grew up in.
Yeah.
And my eyes are open, and now I'm willing to start this part, 19 at the time, start this part of my life to say, where is this journey going to take me? And that's where it was, 2006, and started there.
Yeah, and now H&M is just copying all. They'll take.
We don't even mention it anymore.
Balmain said that wrong. I know.
Yeah.
Now you see those jeans everywhere.
It's not the same as it was to have that first, and to experience that. And I started where a company of like such culture, they started that. And so it was just a blessing to even get there and them promoting me to work in the showroom.
Now, when you got basically fired from Sony, what made you not give up? How did you handle that? Because, you're 19 now, you're young. You're not fully developed yet.
Right,
you're still, emotional. And you're trying so hard, you
tell all your friends, oh my God, I work at Sony. Yeah. So this is my new job. Guess where I work? You want to know where I work? This is where I work.
Yeah, because I'd be like, oh, okay.
That's exactly what you would do.
Give me a couple new movies.
Then 3 days later, it's like, girl, you are like really headstrong on fact. This isn't for you. And it was this guy. His name was Courtney Lowry. Like to this day, I will always remember that. I remember going to an event because I also was like a little tiny 19-year-old social butterfly, and I'm going to this event and I see him. He already let me go, but I never met him. That's when you don't meet the big bosses and they let you go. You only know their names, but you can know what they look like, but they don't know you. And I saw him and I'm like, hey, I'm an intern you let go. And he was like, oh, yeah. He was like, I remember you. He was like, yeah, this wasn't for you. And he sat there and gave me, rather than brushing me off, he gave me the reasons why. And he was like, I see it in you. He was like, I see it in new talent that I sign every day. This just isn't for you. But I promise you where you're going is where you're going to go. And he sat there and gave me those words. And I remember going to the bathroom and crying and calling a friend like, someone actually believes in me. And he only let me go because he didn't want to hinder. I would have ended up back in a small box. And he saw that in me and was like, just go somewhere. I promise you this is where it was go. So it wasn't someone that was letting me go because it was, you don't belong here. It was, this just isn't for you. And you're going to be put here and being constrained probably the 9 to 5. You get a job at Sony and you'll always be unhappy because you'll always look at something else. And he saw that in me. And I remember that to this day. Like, I even remember what I wore and when I ran to the bathroom and cried, because to have someone that don't know you but see how you work and have never really engaged or met you but knows and heard about you for 3 days and believe in you, for a 19-year-old, that's like, oh, okay. You know, the chip is off my shoulder and I'm ready to, okay, I can embrace this world. If you saw that, watch what you're about to see me do.
So by him giving you those tips is really what sets you to...
Yeah, those words, it just gives you that words of encouragement, that push that everybody needs.
Good luck getting that today.
Right. Yeah, but, really good luck.
You got about 0.00% chance that some guy's going to sit down with you and say, hey, look, I think you'd be better over here. Now they just say, you're not good for here. Go. See you later.
I know we'll probably mention it later, but it's kind of like one of the reasons I wrote my book for those kids, because we don't have that. They don't have no mentorship. Everything is haywire and it's all wrong. And so I wanted to give those other people, and I don't want to call them kids because it's, you know, people that are my age and older maybe and younger, that, am I doing this the right way? I'm in a smaller market. I live in Arkansas. How can I capitalize off of this? What can I do here to make it to the big city? And so it's just in telling people, my DMs are always open. And I answer things like that, especially if you buy my book. I'm like, okay, we could do a Zoom call and I'll talk to you about the process about it and, you know, what led me here. Everyone always asks me, oh my God, what's your start? Because I want to start there. My start was 2006. There wasn't Instagram. There wasn't Twitter.
Yeah.
There weren't podcasts. There was nothing. And so I literally started with a shovel in dirt. But now people today, you got homes, you got a whole foundation you can start. It's just, how are you about to walk into there?
Right. So you're taking the things that you've learned to help other people.
And that's it. And it might be in the mid part of my journey to where it was where I needed to develop a lot of things and let you know, here are the mistakes I made. Here's when I got incorporated. Here's when I did this. Here's when I got an agent. Here's when I got a lawyer. Here's when I no longer need to speak for myself because people do it. You know, how did I approach those steps? And I think that today, just in any industry, nobody knows when to do it. Artists, interior, whatever it is, they just don't. And I'm just trying to, you know, just give that leg up. And I hope that's where my legacy lies. Now,
in your book that we're going to get to and, you know, explain it, do you explain how you would handle it now? Because you handled it before Instagram, Facebook, all that. So the question would be like, you know, in that book, do you explain like how you will go about it now today with all this social media, because now it's a whole different ballgame.
Absolutely. I had one, just not to make it a long-winded story, I had one person hit me and they were like, hey, you know, I want to find out how to get clothes. Like, how do I reach out to someone to get clothes, like for free clothes? I know it's a process, and I'm like, and so that was like, ask me, like, just let's play, let's role play, ask me. They sent me this long-winded email and I might have, I opened the email and just saw all these words and go, I need to go get something to drink. I go get something to drink. Now I'm on the phone. Now I did something else and then sat back down, clicked, I'll move that email. And you didn't capture my attention. You gave me something like there, and there's also no visuals. You're just giving me words. So I don't even know what you're asking and what you want. So I need you to, we're in a world where everything's instant, simplified. Everybody listens to like 60 characters or less. They don't want anything. That's why I said I don't want this to be a long-winded story. They don't want anything to be very in-depth. Give it to me quick. Let me listen. I got it. Keep it visual. Now let's move on and ask me what you want. That's it. And so get to the point. Give me visuals. What do you want? Ask all the details you need so I don't have to question. Because once I have to ask a question, you already lost me. Because now I have to ask a question. You got to wait for that answer. Now we're going back and forth. And
that's why I hate talking on the phone for a number of reasons. One, Because I can just send a text and answer it and go back to work.
And quicker and easier.
You get on that phone.
You get on that phone. You get on an email, and everything is a little bit formal. Keep it as formal, informal as possible. Clean, neat, respectful. How can you just off instant do that? And I always and so that is one of the changes I've made, because I was long-winded. 2-page reports like, hey, can I get some clothes? And it's like 2 pages. But now it's, can I get clothes? This is what I do. This is who I am. Period. Right. You know, and it's the date is there, the this is there, the all of that, to where when you question it, the next reply is, when can you come in and pick it up? And so I teach kids, I keep calling them kids. I teach people of today, like, this is what it is. You know, I've noticed that people's attention span is way shorter. So how can you captivate and get their attention that quick? And I show you how easy it is, that they've now done something else. Now they're on lunch and they get back to your email tomorrow morning, and now you still don't have what you need. And so I teach them that.
So for any man or woman that buys the book, you have it in Audible and hardcover, so you have no excuse. You can listen to the damn thing. She'll answer your question, but don't start the paragraph. Just get right to the point. I'm saying it, not Kesha, me, because I hate it. When I see them novels, I read the last part.
Right, you read the last part, but
I'm not reading all
last
that.
part. And exactly, you read it and you're like, can you just text me this? Because you feel like nobody's going to give you a novel in text. They're just like, hey, can you answer this? Can you look at this? I just sent the email about.
Yeah. Kesha, they'll be like, your hair looked really good in this picture, and in 2007 I saw this picture, and then I see you like to drink Fiji water. I see this, I see this,
and you're like,
and where the fuck is the question?
What are you?
Where the freak is the question?
Right? What are you asking me again? And so you get lost, and where you're looking at this now. What are you doing? Twiddling your thumbs, and now you're like, oh, can you pass me that? And now you're talking about that in a whole other conversation when somebody is trying to get your attention here.
And the craziest thing is they see you with James Harden, Serena Williams, PJ Tucker, all these guys. What do you think? You got time to read a novel about, what you ate for breakfast yesterday? Just get to the point. Should I wear this watch with this outfit with these shoes? Can you tell me where to go? This is my budget, or whatever they ask, right? Guy or woman.
There you go.
Period.
That's it.
We don't care about your day.
That's it.
I don't care about if it's sunny out. Just ask me the question.
And I guarantee you, everybody, I see your emails and I love them so much. We're like, oh my God, I love you so much, and I saw your work and I was just so inspired.
No.
And I just want you to know that you're so much appreciated, and it'll be a whole thing about me, and I'm like, yes, thank you. What happened? Oh, I just want to know if I can be an assistant. Well, where do you live? Where's the resume? So now I have now opened up to allow me to answer questions. I'm not going to ask those, because now we're in a back and forth dialogue. Yeah. And again, there's a million things going on in my life. I need to quickly answer that. And so I always tell people that if you're going to, hey, I want to apply. How do I apply? Here's my resume.
That's all you need.
That's all I need.
Or if they want to throw you, a kiss ass, they could say, Kesha, I really appreciate you. I'd like to apply, period. Here's my resume.
That's all it is.
We
don't have to go into I'm talking about my history now.
Yeah.
So go into, and then I worked at HR, and I'm like, oh.
Yeah, that was great but I'm on that level.
Yeah.
You're not yet.
Yeah, so, and I understand. Yeah, I get it. I understand. Yeah, I know my history. I wrote it.
Okay, so yeah, and you do love it. So you got through all that. So you find your niche. The Sony guy really ended up helping you out. Mm-hmm. Now, when does your breakthrough? I know you said 2006, but when does the breakthrough happen where you're starting to get, not people that maybe or that from there, but where you're starting to get not maybe celebrities yet, but higher end clients?
2008, Vernon Davis, tight end for the 49ers.
Damn, how'd that happen?
A friend of mine heard I was a stylist, like, hey, he's coming to New York for New York Fashion Week, and we need someone to work with him. We think you're the great person, so just wondering if you're willing to meet. And I was like, absolutely. And so I ended up meeting Vernon and worked with him maybe for like 4 or 5 years. So he was my very first athlete. And then I had a model, Veronica Webb, who at the time was filming Tim Gunn's Guide to Style.
You got a good memory on that one.
First, Tim Gunn's The Guide to Style, and she was my first model. So she working with her, I understood product requests and how to ask for requests and, look ones and look twos and whatever it is. And with Vernon, it's now I have an athlete frame, a big frame. How am I going to get the Ferragamos and stuff to understand that this is the way of the world and people like him are, buying things like that and this is what they want. And so it was a merge of two worlds for me to understand that. And then all in the middle, I'm still working in music. So I'm touring with Neo. We did like a Europe tour. Yeah, we did a tour in Europe.
He was on fire back then.
What year did Michael Jackson die?
9? Was it 9?
There. So
I think it was somewhere around there, like 8,
we
9?
went to Wembley because I remember Michael Jackson was going to come out on one of his tour dates.
Oh wow.
Yeah, and he ended up passing, and that was like June 23rd. Michael passed,
and Neo was huge at that time.
Yeah, and we left like June 29th. So it was like a lot.
And what were we doing for Neo? Just helping it, like
just wardrobe. And so when you're on tour, everything is really determined by the stylist. So there's a stylist that does the whole tour, and then there's the person who does wardrobe on tour. And so wardrobe basically is the upkeep. The amazing part about being on tour is that you can travel the world. I guess bad part about being on tour is that it's repetitive. I know his songs to know when I had to hand him his hat.
Yeah.
I know his songs to where he did 1-2 step and a jacket goes on, or he peels this off and I have to run and get a shirt. So that is, tour would be that 9 to 5. And it would be easy, but you're opened up to a world. So I got to go to Glasgow. I went to found out where my last name came from. I just went, Paris for the first time. I did so much. Greenland, Ireland, Finland, countries I would never visit right now, just cause, but I was able to do that on a tour.
That's awesome. So between Neo and the Sony guy, boom, right? I mean, those two. Right? I mean, you're ready to go. I always wanted to ask, how do they change so damn quick? Because they're singing a song, like the backdrop will come
backstage.
down.
We're backstage.
You guys,
and
right?
so that's all dress rehearsal. You practice that. So, like, for instance, the room is spinning and I can't breathe. And ooh, my head is just breaking. And he's dancing and the words not speaking. As soon as that beat drops, he does a turn with the dancer and runs backstage. But I have to be ready with something and and then he goes back out, but it's all in preparation of how quick can you do it, and you're literally backstage waiting, doing the room is spinning, I can't breathe it. Like, just you're not even listening to the song, you're doing counts because when and you account for all mistakes or whatever can happen, rip off, put on, and you make everything easy at the same time. And that stylist who did the tour allowed that, and all I have to do is just the construction of it all.
I doubt it's that, because you got 1 second to get that hat proper because the beat's still rolling, right?
Yep.
And he's got to get back out there for the choreography.
He's still singing.
Oh shit!
Also, so you kind of.
Yeah, because I've been to every Chris Brown concert ever that I could travel to. I love him. And he'd be doing all that backflip stuff.
And you're like, how is he changing?
How is he going back there and changing so fast?
They account for all of that time during dress and sound rehearsal.
Wow.
And then you got to make sure the shirt isn't dirty and this, and you're shopping for new and all of this other stuff. So it's a lot of communication and a lot of back and forth, but it's literally the same thing because you don't want to change up the tour. Especially when the stylist isn't on tour and you're just a wardrobe. So you don't want to change up the tour. So you have to just really keep, how am I going to keep? So now you have 17 white Ferragamo shirts. That's what I'm saying, Ferragamo.
Yeah.
We have 17 white Ferragamo shirts, but now we're on a 20-day tour and the dry cleaners messed up 5 of them. So now I have no shirts. So how am I going to replace? So it's a lot of that.
A lot of possible errors to happen.
Exactly.
Right?
Yeah.
So now, nobody that you worked with, so you don't give out any, information. But let's just say Chris Brown. Okay, now let's just say he gets $200K a show. He pays for you and the stylist and everything, right, on that tour.
No, the promoter pays for all of that.
The promoter does.
Yeah, I think the promoter. Yeah, his fee I don't think would determine what.
It was just the curiosity.
It would be promoter with ticket sales and all of it, and their sponsors and stuff. Promoters, John Jay Entertainment. Like, they're the ones who are the person of the tour, and they build tours.
Okay.
Yeah, so like if you wanted to build a tour for, your podcast, you basically would get sponsors to give you money. So let's say you have $2 million, and out of that $2 million, you have to hire Chris Brown, you have to hire Neo, but you also have to make sure there are accommodations. So is wardrobe going to be included in that, or is that something coming out of his pocket, or is it just the fee? It's a whole bunch of technical
logistics.
Logistics and things that go into it on building a tour and hiring wardrobe, because that wardrobe could get very pricey.
And the backdrop, right?
Yeah, because again, 17 Ferragamo shirts.
Whew. I guess Neil liked Ferragamo, huh?
No, I'm just using that. I can't even remember what shirt it was.
Yeah. And then, okay, so you get done with the Neo tour. Now you have recognition, right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you're kind of known behind the scenes at this point.
Still,
where are we at this point?
For me, it's still
Yeah, okay.
and I think it's I don't know. It's just to me, it's always just still mid-level of where my potential is now and where I grew, kind of grew now. And I would say I came around like in 2015. That's what I would say. But tell a story different. I've been doing this for years from everyone. 2009. So then I started working in hip hop, heavy, a lot, like Rick Ross, Jadakiss, a lot of Def Jam artists, Atlantic artists, and so I became music. So I still have Vernon, but I'm like now deep in music, and so that's where I ended up working in, and hate it. I didn't want anything, because then again it became that box again, and a box that you would have to listen to everybody in the room for me to tell you what to wear, and it was just I just couldn't do it.
Can you explain to me the difference between doing like a rap concert, that you're behind and you're dressing them, and then like a Neo? So you're going from Neo to Jadakiss. That's got to be a whole different.
It's different. It's still the same.
Is it really?
It's the same blueprint.
Same blueprint.
Same blueprint. It's the same blueprint applies. It's just different, music and genres and stuff, but same blueprint. That's all it is. Same blueprint, different budgets and everything like that.
So I thought it would be totally different.
No, there's nothing different about it. It's still a pop-up show. It's still a project. It's still one thing. It's kind of like you have a blueprint for the foundation of a house. It's all the same of what goes into it, but it's what is about to go into it that makes it different. But it's like y'all literally have the same rectangle box.
Did you like Rick Ross?
I loved him.
Huge, right? Big guy.
Yeah, at the time he was, and now he's so small now.
He got on a diet, right?
Yeah, he's a really great person too. Like, that's like really awesome. I still, like, if I see him to this day, like, such a great person.
Well, him and Khaled, weren't they on DJ Khaled? They were on like a diet thing together where they were going to look. Well, they're both down in Miami.
Yeah. Were they? Did they do that?
I don't know how long it lasted. I mean, at least on Khaled's side. The last video he came out with DJ Khaled didn't look like he was watching what he was
looks
eating.
the same, right? Yeah. No, he's a really good person, and anyone you tell it to, there's like no bad things you'll ever hear about him. He's a really awesome person.
That's awesome. Because remember, Khaled was doing when the Snapchat was more popular.
Oh yeah, and he was doing his workouts, and eating and stuff. And wasn't he with Weight Watchers?
I don't know. Yeah, he was with somebody. I don't know.
He was with Jenny Craig or Weight Watchers or something like that. He was with them. He was.
I want to say it was Jenny Craig because I laughed.
Yep.
He was and he's doing all this crazy shit. This guy lost weight for about 2 months. Next thing you know, he's got. No shame in his game. Hairy belly, and I like him. I like all his music.
Yeah,
I'm not knocking him. I mean, I'm just saying. I'm actually giving him credit. He's got the balls to go out there with the hairy big belly hanging over his stomach with 3 other guys that are famous with abs. Hey, I give it to him. With gold teeth in his mouth and a chicken wing.
I never really met. I don't think I've met.
He's got that chicken wing joint down there.
You talking about Ross?
Yeah.
Wingstop.
I thought that was Khaled's.
No, Khaled does have a restaurant.
He's got
a chicken wing restaurant. You are right.
And then
Ross has Wingstop.
Yeah,
Ross Khaled has 2 chicken wing spots, and like one is in
Miami.
Miami or Little Haiti neighborhood or something. Yeah, you are right. Yep. Yeah, I never been there.
Yeah, that one's like the sit down one.
Something. You been?
I haven't been there, but I just hear it.
Sound like?
No, I just heard it. Well, I like Chris Brown, and he works with Chris Brown a lot.
You really like Chris Brown?
I really like Chris Brown. You know why I like him so much? Because he doesn't give up. They keep crushing him about everything. They don't play his bangers. You know what I mean? And he just doesn't give up.
So
It keeps
interesting.
pumping. Yeah, I really do. I like him and Tupac.
Oh, two good ones.
Yeah,
That's so funny.
Why didn't you think I would like Chris Brown?
No, yeah, I just realized how much you liked it.
Oh yeah, yeah. I was like that with Tupac. Okay, so we get through all that, and then how do you become the go-to stylist?
Athletes started to hear about it's the way I size them. I'm really good at sizing. I always get people what they want in sizing, and telling everyone that, like, not everything is made to measure, because you know about made to measure programs. Everybody has to do it, and it's kind of, oh well, I have to wear this, and you have to get it made. Sorry, there's something in my eye. And I was buying off the rack. And really, in where I understood, I guess, clothing was from my education of sewing and understanding that to take apart a garment and kind of what goes under it, and removing stitches and making it longer, and removing this part to let it hit the wrist and dropping the shoulder. And these athletes, they have really long arms, long torsos, long legs, high butts, thick thighs, and all of these all things that go into how can I make this comfortable for them. And also, it's always intimidating that you can't go into a store and find your size. And so I became the person that, oh yeah, this could fit you. There's a way to steam and iron out items that, taking fabrication, I know this, that fabric stretches. And so, but don't stretch in a loose, wrinkly way. But if you hold, steam, and stretch, the fabric still remains the same, and it can become longer. So it's like, it was certain things that I've learned and understood, and I became that person.
Wow, so anybody could basically come to you and you could fit them perfect.
It's easy.
It
Just
is
the
hard
way,
to find a
yeah,
tail.
it is. Yeah, just the way I was able to size you up, I'm like, oh, okay, yeah.
It's kind of like you got that, like a lot of people have like photographic memory.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of like that. Like what I'm taking from it is just like you have that, niche where you can look at somebody, okay, he would be good in a medium. If I shrink it a small, he's going to look like he's wearing his little brother's shirt. So we got to find
so where's that
medium.
happy medium? Yep.
Yeah.
And a tailor is always your best friend, a tailor or a seamstress.
A good one. Hard to find a good
really good. It is really hard to find one. I had one in LA, Rafaela, and she moved back to Germany. It hurts my heart.
She was really good, huh?
The best, and just calm and understood. And she's just like this little white woman, and she was like, oh, I love to work in hip-hop. This is like the most amazing thing to me. And it was so fun. It's so funny. And I'm like, you really like sets like these? She was like, I'm so fascinated.
And she's probably getting in her car in the DL, right? Blasted
she was so quiet. And then when she was like, during the pandemic, she was like, I'm gonna move, and I think I'm moving. And I'm like, I felt like I lost my family.
Yeah.
Like, because guess what I have to do? I have to start over that search, because I've been working with her for 10 years.
The hell would she want to go to Germany
Exactly. That's what I said.
What?
I mean, it was the pandemic. I get it. She left.
Does she know German?
Yes. Very,
all right.
fluent,
all right.
Yeah.
Hands are up.
Just like this.
All right.
I'm like, I guess if you have to go.
She'll be back.
I don't think so.
She's probably killing.
She has a whole job out there. Like, I'm following her on Facebook. Like, hey, girl, just letting you know I miss you.
She's probably killing it.
Yeah.
She probably is, right?
She's probably like
a U.S. stylist coming. Shit. Forget
what
about
all of the work she's done, and she's done all my clients' and just how discreet she was. She just wanted to do the job and just was so amazed. And it would amaze me how this woman who doesn't know any part of this culture at all is just like, this is so amazing. And I'm like, girl, what? It is?
But isn't that cool to see?
Yeah,
though?
It's so cool to see, and to lose her.
Just like I got your name right?
Yeah,
like,
it was like that. Oh,
hey, right away. We're friends now. Shit.
It felt like that. It to her, it was just, so Rafaela, I love you so much. I really wish you would come back, but.
And Tommy, because he said her name right. Somebody else did it. We won't mention any names. Can you pull up tab 2? I want to pull up the go-to stylist. So that's a pretty good name to go to.
It is, right?
Yep. So right there.
Intimidating.
Yes. That's intimidating?
To me, it's just like, But
yeah, lucky you. Go-to stylist for star athletes like Serena Williams, James Harden, and PJ Tucker. That's just to name a few. Keep scrolling down. Now, do you pick out your own stuff, right?
Yeah, I'm terrible at it. I just like picking out sets. They're easy.
You just pick it out?
Jumpsuits and sets.
Here, what we got up there in the
My
person?
closet doesn't even look like that no more.
No?
Nope, I got it remodeled and now I'm selling it.
All right. You're selling the closet?
No, house.
How many pairs of shoes you got?
I don't know.
If you got to take a guess. I'll take the first guess. Okay, so we got some Air Force Ones. So my guess is 70. More?
What's 16 times 8?
This is an important question.
This is just a part of one part of a closet. 16 pairs on that. So there's 128 in this.
I shot low.
In this closet thing, and then there's a wall like that. How that wall was. There's another wall, but it's just like sneakers and exclusive like
so you got
boots
like a whole,
and stuff.
You got like a whole wall covered up.
Yeah, of like shoes and stuff. Yeah, I literally just saw the picture.
Now let me ask you a question, Kesha. How many of those shoes do you actually wear more than once?
Wear all of them.
Oh my God, that's what every girl says.
It's like, so you open this up. Hold on, I'm about to show you what it is. It's like a whole.
You wear them all, right?
Yeah, wear them all.
Oh my, Kesha. Yeah.
See, look, it's a way better closet than what it was. So you don't see the shoes because I'm hiding them now.
I'm gonna put this in over pictures so you can see. And let me guess. I already know what the next one is, right?
What?
Kesha, you've worn every pair of them, right?
Oh my gosh, yes, I need to wear all my clothes.
Nothing's on tags, right?
A lot of stuff has tags.
But you wore it though.
Yeah.
Just
A lot of stuff has tags.
yeah.
Yeah, so it doesn't even look like that no more. It's kind of like a more.
Yeah.
I just wanted, when I saw this, I'm like, oh my God, I need my closet done because I'm tired of people trying to put pictures in closet. Like, stop doing that. And I ended up remodeling the entire closet. And then I was like, I don't know if I want to be in this house no more.
Yeah. I was way low with 70.
Yeah,
huh?
yeah. Anyways, yeah, it's like a I think it's 128 in this little mirror thing. I think, if I'm estimating it correctly, but I could be wrong.
Well, hey, look, as long as you wear them all and you get used out of them,
I'm wearing
we're good
all
to
of
go.
them. Yeah, because that's not even my boots. That's all my heels.
Oh, that's
So
just
then-
the heel. Jeez, we forgot about the boots.
And it's not the flats, and it's not the sneakers, and it's not the high boots, and it's not the snow boots.
All right,
and
so
it's not the
we're
winter.
at 250 now.
Okay, 1,000 would be right.
Okay, all right.
That's not a lot though.
No, not for what you're doing.
Not for
if
what
you're
I
going
do.
on tour and you're dealing with those people, no.
No,
Because I would imagine, just in my opinion, with the caliber that you're dealing with, you don't want to wear the same shoes.
No,
or anything
and
twice.
also, I have a weird quirk about me. I travel so much, and I love to wear. I'm a person who wears my sneakers. I'm not collecting sneakers. I don't like. Oh, this is a collector's piece. Not me. So but I like to wear a new pair of sneakers to the airport.
It's just your thing.
I literally have to take it out the box, fresh pair, sneakers to the airport.
I used to be the same way when I was
In a
younger.
sweatsuit. Like, it has to be a brand new pair of sneakers to the airport. It's so odd. And I noticed that makes me feel better when I go to the airport.
It did me too. When I was growing up, I played a lot of basketball and football. And Michael Jordan, he would put a new pair on in the beginning of the game,
time.
and halftime he'd switch them. So I wanted to be like Michael Jordan.
So you did the same.
So I would beg my parents at the time to get me more. Well, I never had a pair for every game, but every couple
You would
games,
switch.
or I would, sell, Soprano DVDs on the side, just hustle whatever I could to get them. And it does, you take the paper out, you get that
It just
smell.
feels
Yeah.
better. So every time I go to so you'll usually see me in a new pair of sneakers if you see me at the airport.
Yeah, no, I'm down with that.
Yeah, anywhere else, it's something I've worn and can just easily put my foot in. But airport sneakers.
Yeah, comfy sneakers. Yeah, and the smell.
Nice
Yeah.
sneakers.
So now what happens after that? So now you start getting, you were the creative director, right? The creative director, stylist. I want to make sure I say this correctly, right?
You are.
Which there's a new movie, The Top Gun, starring Tom Cruise. You were the stylist for that. Avirex jacket.
Leather jacket. So
That Tom Cruise
Avirex
wears.
is a brand that everyone knows from the 80s and 90s with those amazing like leather jackets they had. and they're coming back out and just reinventing what they did in a lot of classics. So one of the ones you mentioned, that Top Gun style jacket, they had a it's like an all-star aviator jacket that will be featured in the movie, and I styled the ad campaign featuring Rudy Gay, who is playing on the San Antonio Spurs right now.
That's awesome. So they better put your name in the credits at the end.
It's all not in the movie on the campaign.
Assholes.
Yeah, no, not in the movie.
Now, why do they got to call it Avirex? Why can't they just call it, bomber jacket?
Well, it's like a name. It's like the name of the brand. So,
but my retarded self can't say it right. So now
I
know we've tried before. What are you gonna do? All right, I'm a retard. All right. Pull up tab 3 to show the jacket that I can't say right, even though we practice it. That one right there. Okay, go to the top. I guess they don't show it. Well, that's what you did, Kesha.
Yep. So they're relaunching for the fall. So, to do they don't have any pictures on here, but if you go to probably like their Instagram, you probably will see it. Yeah, if you go to their Instagram page.
Yeah, go to google.com tab 1 and type in Avirex Jacket. You might want to fix me on that one.
Yep.
Now, how long did that take to get all that going on?
We've actually been working. A friend of mine, Mindy Gale of Gale Branding, brought me onto the project because we worked with other things in the past, and we've been working on this. I want to say since February of early this year, and then finally did the campaign. But just building creatives, who's going to be part of the campaign, what to keep. Here's the thing about brands, and when it's not a new brand and it's relaunching, how do you keep their language and still have their old fans, but bring it to like new people and refresh, and not necessarily having all that old school symbology behind it. And so one of the things Avirex allowed me to do was kind of do my own thing, but I also wanted to stay true to the culture of what Avirex was, and so I did.
Yeah, and it's the COVID killed movie production.
It did.
Right?
It did. Yep.
So that slowed everything down.
It slowed it down. And so, but with their fall launch and how beautiful their jackets are, it's like on the colors, the detailing. You and I can both wear like these. They're just so amazing. It's so amazing, and I'm honored to be a part of it. And I don't think I've wrapped my head around it yet of, being part of something so institutional in bikers and everything, and that's what Avirex is.
That is cool. I do like those. I call them bomber jackets, but it's the same thing.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
You got to connect to Wi-Fi secure. Sorry, I was on the wrong connection.
Okay.
That happens. What are you gonna do? I just played that.
No, it's all good. It's all good. Yeah. So once you get to see it, you'll see all the colors they come in. And so one of the things they're in that movie because Tom Cruise did wear in the old Top Gun. So he did wear a Avirex jacket, kind of like that aviator style with the glasses. And so they relaunched also that jacket. So it's like pretty cool to be that then and now. And with the new movie that's coming out, he's also wearing the newer styles of what they have.
I can't believe they're relaunching Top Gun.
I didn't know that either because we were like, oh,
I thought it was Mission Impossible.
Yeah. And then it became Top Gun.
Yeah, it became Top Gun. So you go from that, and then Terry, you had diamond shoes on PJ Tucker. So tell me how that came about.
Game 6. PJ told me he had a pair of shoes coming in by the shoe surgeon, and for those not familiar with the shoe surgeon, he basically is that someone who revamps and he's just extremely talented, and him and PJ have a really good relationship to where he builds up a lot of PJ's sneakers into these things
that blow up.
And so one of the things during right before, because of course there's always a Game 7, and you don't want to put out there that oh, we're going to go to Game 7. Oh, all your win. So PJ showed me a pair of sneakers. He was like, hey, I'm getting these sneakers. I want to look like for it. But they're also, I called them the Himalayans. And I don't know if you're familiar with the Himalayan Birkin bag.
Yeah.
It's a $250,000 bag with diamonds on the clasp. And it's all that croc. It's beautiful. Guess how much? $250,000. So I was like, oh, this is like the Himalayan. He was like, what? I was like, you got a Himalayan Birkin on your feet. And so It was, how can we showcase the sneaker for a game 6? I don't know if they're going to win. You know, we don't know that yet. How are we going to showcase the sneaker? And so, you know, putting outfits together and collabing and, you know, coming together in the meeting of the minds. And we ended up going with a gallery department short set because you still want to showcase what we're all talking about in this room. You don't want to hide it. You don't want him to hold the sneaker in his hand like, look what I'm wearing.
Yeah.
You want him to actually wear it and be something a part of. And so that's where I come in when I'm the mastermind behind a lot of it.
Because I know I'm looking at all the shoes in the
You're
finals.
looking at,
Not
and
this
you
year.
want to see, you want to see what it looks like.
I wanted my Lakers to get in.
You did?
Yeah. Even though, you know, Kobe's not there anymore. But when Kobe was there, I was a huge fan.
Well, y'all have a chance next year. They're doing a major trade. I saw Russell Westbrook.
They're getting Westbrook?
The last I saw.
The Lakers?
It's in talks.
Oh, it's over. They get Westbrook. Yeah. Well, he gets hurt a lot, but yeah, they get Westbrook.
He gets leg hurt. He don't get hurt a lot.
But you know what? But I don't know how that would fit because
hurt like I get hurt.
Because you got Davis, you got LeBron, and then you're gonna have Westbrook. That's a lot.
That's a good point guard, though.
Yeah, you're right.
An amazing point guard. It relieves LeBron from being that point guard.
That 40 million minutes of him running up and down. Follow time's gonna catch up sooner or later.
Yeah, you get that minute. You get him too.
Pull up tab 4. This is the one with the Dolce & Gabbana and PJ Tucker collabo.
Mm-hmm. Oh,
so tell me how that went. Oh, yeah. So scroll up. So now how did this come about where you get with Dolce & Gabbana, who's a hard...
it's not this
one. That's not the right one?
It might be right.
Right there. All right, we got it.
Yeah. Yep.
Okay.
The banner looked the same. Yep.
Okay, so how does this come about where you get to do this?
Last year during the pandemic, I asked PJ Tucker a lot of his goals. Like, after Beth, you ever thought about it? Like, where do you want to go? Like, what do you want to do? And he gave me 2 things he really wants to do. I'm not going to name any of them because they're on my goal list.
Yeah.
And so how can we attain all of that? And so I just listed a whole bunch of things of ways to get to that part. Having a luxury sneaker was one of them. He already collabed with Nike and did a Kobe PE, but what luxury sneaker brand can he do without making it look so cheesy? So it needs to be something that is, still appreciated, not somebody that's tone deaf, something that he wears, something that he likes, because he doesn't wear a lot of designer sneakers. So I had a lot of friends go over to Dolce & Gabbana and start working there, and I approached 3 different companies, won't name the other 2, but they declined to offer, and Dolce was like, I want to see it. I actually just posted the text messages when it all came about the other day on my Insta story. And they were like, let's see it. And, presented a deck, and they were like, this is it. Like, I can see it. I see the vision. So how can we start this? And we started this last year during the pandemic, and to watch him also now be an NBA champion and to be so dedicated, because he's very meticulous, very dedicated. He's a Taurus, so he's very like a perfectionist, stubborn, and it's all of these things. And for him to work just as hard for what he also really wanted was that ring, it was an amazing feat. And so we, built that up and did 2 colorways, hoping to have more and re-sign and do another one with them. So it was really, really amazing. And the company Dolce & Gabbana, for them to even, Kesha, if you have an idea, we just want to listen to it. I don't even care how, as crazy as the idea is, just give it to me. So I was like, what if we turn this sneaker into an NFT? And they were like, what? What is that? And so now I have to do a Zoom call to Italians to explain in English what an NFT is to people who don't speak English.
What's an NFT?
So an NFT is a non-fungible token. So it's basically like a piece of art digitized.
Oh, okay.
And so it's explaining to them the thing about it and why and who and what it makes sense. And they were one of the first companies to come out with one because they listened to this girl's idea.
Now, did you have a prior relationship with Dolce & Gabbana to go this far?
I had a relationship like how I have a relationship with every brand.
Right.
It's like a relationship, but it's, it was during the pandemic. Nobody had anything to do. So guess what everyone's doing? Listening to ideas.
And then the
or
guy
listening
wins.
to certain things. And the icing on the cake of it all, because the sneaker dropped we shot everything and been working on this like a whole year. The icing on the cake was him winning. So it's like they're like, no one would have predicted this. No one. And there was a lot of times where we couldn't promo the shoe because he has a game. And I'm like, guys, I can't have him post and talk about the shoe all day long. He has to focus. Like, we want him to win. That's what we want, right? And they're like, yeah, but we have to get shoe sales up. They're going to sell. Don't worry about it. And this is like start of the playoffs. We're not even in the Brooklyn series. We're nowhere near. And to get this far to where by the time we get to, what series was this? The Phoenix series. They're like, no, he can't promo. He has to focus. And I'm like, okay. That's what I've been trying to tell y'all.
Yeah, I've only been telling you that for the last three series that they won. That, it's starting to look maybe like they're going to go somewhere. We might want to start producing these.
Right. And so and so when we get to the start, I'm like, hey, so PJ's like, no, he has to focus. We are not going. And I'm like, I know, I've been telling you guys this, but we're okay now. He can focus. He has to. Let's just leave him alone, and we're just gonna wait for him to win. So I have all of these. They're up at like, what time is it? Like 2-3 a.m.
Yeah.
Watching him play, and it was the most amazing thing ever to where he won, and all of them are on my WhatsApp.
Yeah.
Like, oh my God, this is it. So it was really, really.
And you designed it.
Yeah,
that's the shit right
he
there.
did. Like, I have a whole video.
But you were a part of the designing.
The mastermind.
Right.
But
I bet you they're going like this behind you.
They're
behind
like
closed doors.
They're like,
should have released that a month earlier.
Look at that. Yeah, they wanted to wait, but no, the sales are great.
Awesome.
He's doing really good. We're doing a pop-up in Italy, actually, God willing, with the whole COVID thing, and nothing stops it. Hopefully the end of the month we'll do a pop-up in Italy and probably something in New York.
Awesome. Take a wild guess what all my cousins in Italy want. For like every holiday, what do you think that they want?
Sneakers?
Polo jeans.
Why?
I don't know. In Sicily, they all want like the polo shirts with the horse. Because over in Sicily, have you been to Sicily?
No, we're going to Venice.
So, but it's kind of like the same price.
It is.
Might be a little bit.
I've never been.
But when you're in Sicily, a polo shirt, like here in 2021, just a polo short sleeve
regular
is like $280 US.
What?
Yeah.
So you just bring a whole.
And it's a poor country. You know what I mean? Sicily's not. They don't got money.
So
when we communicate on WhatsApp, you know what I mean, or through whoever, they all want polo stuff. And it did this for the last, seriously, 10 years. That's all they want is polo. Polo jeans, polo T-shirt, and polo button-down. And one time I sent one, like sometimes it doesn't have the horse, you know what I mean, because it's kind of a more dressier shirt.
Yeah, it depends. Or the horse
it had it
like
down here at the bottom.
Color. Yeah, yep.
Right. And my cousin Vito, he was so mad because, not mad, but he was like,
I have a cousin Vito.
and he wanted the horse there, to show off to his friends and stuff. But it's funny how like they're stuck in the polo when we were there in what?
And you're like, what?
The first time,
no.
I started asking him, I'm like, polo.
Why that? Right.
Like, is there a different polo that we're talking about?
Yeah,
here?
right. Like, is it what?
All of them. I'm telling you, all of them and their friends, and like, hey, Katami. I say, shit, you want me to get, nailed by customs? How many think you guy can get in there? You want me to send a Mack truck of them? Yeah, geez, let me just get a Mack truck crawl across the border to give you polos.
That's so odd.
$280. How about that? Yeah, nuts.
Are they selling them or are they wearing them, your cousins?
I think they're wearing them.
Okay.
But who knows? Who knows? I don't know. I don't want to know. It was a gift. It was a gift. I marked it on the custom sheet. It said 10 polo shirts.
It's a gift.
2 jeans. And
it's a gift on your eye.
And I put eyes. And Kesha,
it is a gift.
Just for the record, when it says, what is the value? I put the value that I paid.
That's just $68.
So whatever they did once they got them,
none of
I got nothing to do with it. Don't call me on this stuff. All right, so now that we're talking about Italy, tell me about Fashion Week in Paris.
Ah, man. It always starts in Milan, actually.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, a lot. Yeah. So actually, we always start in Italy. So it's always Milan and Paris Fashion Week, and then we fly over to Paris. I mean, it's a whole thing. Serge Ibaka on the Clippers.
Huge.
Yeah,
right?
He was one of the ones that I took for the first time over there. So to take an athlete, it was Serge Ibaka, and it really helped that he speaks French. So it really was amazing to have someone.
How tall is he? 7?
6'10".
Hot, like right 7-ish.
Yeah.
How tall are you?
5'6".
Yeah, he's
I'm
down.
all the
He's
way
looking down on your head.
See, to me, I always feel like I look eye level to these guys when I'm talking to them.
I don't know if you might have the photographic memory with the clothes.
Yeah, I always
I don't know.
feel like I'm like looking like, hey, I'm talking to them.
What are you
It's
talking
so
to his
crazy.
belly?
I don't know. I just always feel like I could look at their face. I never feel like they're like super. I'm trying to think of somebody that was like, wow, okay, you're tall. Michael Jordan was really tall to me.
Really? Long ass.
And Magic Johnson.
He's a little taller than Jordan, I think, right?
I don't even know how tall
Jordan's
they are.
listed at 6'6". I think
Really?
Magic is what, 6'8"? 6'9", 6'8".
The crazy
yeah.
thing, those are average sizes on my clients, but to them, I'm like, wow, you're tall.
Maybe it's because they're really thin and lanky.
Maybe, and I'm always with my clients. You know, kind of when you don't see something that is growing in front of you, and you're like, really? Yeah. So,
Well, Jordan isn't really thin and lanky anymore.
No, but he was tall. Yeah, he was one of the tall ones. But yeah, I started there, and it's just kind of like, you know, you go over there to preview all the stuff that comes out for next year rather. And one of the things I started doing was asking designers, can I borrow what's on the runway right now to wear today or tomorrow for an appearance? And it was one of the things that kind of, you know, makes your stock rise a little bit when you got that clout, like this ain't coming out yet and this isn't even made yet. And so it was one of the things. And then I think it was Serge Ibaka, Philip Lim had a jacket set situation that came down and it was oversized on someone like you, huge. And I'm like, that could fit him. And Philip Lim was like, no, we can't. And I'm like, I promise you it can. And he went to Nickelodeon Kids' Choice Awards and wore that look. That literally is a next year look, not coming out. You don't even know if this designer will produce it then. But it was something he wore, and he wore it on the red carpet. And that was something I got used to. Like, oh, this one person just has to tell me yes. And then no one can ever tell me no. I'm that person. If one person told me yes and you tell me no, I'll call you a hater.
Good, as you should, right?
So I go with I know this can happen, and can I get it off? And people are like, no, you can't have this off the runway. It doesn't work like that. Yeah, it does. I watched it happen. You just need an appearance. Yeah, I have one. It doesn't work like that. It's not going to fit him. Yes, it is. That's the reason why I'm asking for it. And so it became that. I just always need one person to go, I can see, okay, I understand your vision. I see it.
And you find that one person.
I always find that one person. And the people that say
thrilled.
and the people that tell me no, I go, you're a hater. I'll go to somebody else. Yeah. And I'll just keep going till I get that other one person. And they're like, yeah, I see it.
You know what I would say to them? I'd say, okay, no. Okay. You watch what I do.
Sure. There's a few people like that.
And then I go back to them and I say, here's a bottle of water for you.
One of my clients was like, you are an elephant. You never forget. Like, I sure don't. I remember all my no's now.
Yeah. Oh, shit.
Because people will come around like, hey, just wondering. And I'm like, let me just pull up something for you. Remember that? I just want to let you. That was like 10 years ago. This person is not part of. Actually, this person was part of the company. They were right under them. And they told me no. And this is the reason why. So now I need more.
How you like that? Right? That's what I say to them.
Yeah, I need more incentives. But once someone tells me yes and something I can do, I realize that it exists. Like something. So I know athletes can come out with a sneaker with a luxury brand. So it's depending on how you present it. I know I can take something off the runway and present it to the designer with the opportunity of their getting press moments for it. I know all of these things can happen. And so it has allowed me to make things bigger and better with my brand, with everybody I work with and work for.
I'm asking this because I know a lot of the athletes that we're going to get to that you work with, just a handful, because we'll be here all day if we start naming them all. But I used to wear it, but they kind of got a little bit too weird. What happened to Supreme?
They're still around.
I know, but they don't. I don't think they're. I know they're still around, but I don't think they make the cool stuff.
They do a lot. They still make the cool stuff. They still make the box tees, and they still do collabs. Yeah, they're still around. It's just you've aged out of looking at it being cool.
Maybe so. Yeah. Because I opened up an engineering firm, which meant
this is I can actually show you.
And Bathing Ape.
Still around.
Or is it still popular?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I had more Bathing Ape for a while.
This is Supreme.
I always got the one with I would get the black and the white with the red.
What,
Supreme.
Bathing Ape? The Supreme, yeah.
Yeah.
Like the box t-shirt.
The box t-shirt. Mm-hmm. And then the Bathing Ape, I would get the jacket, the hoodie jacket, kind of jean jacket. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they're all still
and
existing.
the real funny, like cartoon looking crazy character with the bathing ape.
This is Supreme. They just elevated their style.
Yeah, they just got a little bit more like flashy.
Yeah,
flashy.
Fashion.
Yeah, fashion, flashy. That's what's in. Yeah,
Yep.
when I was wearing it was the box, and then like you wear like a bathing ape jacket over it or a bathing ape t-shirt.
Yup, and just kind of chill. You know,
Bathing
who
ape
wore a bathing ape a lot. Robin Williams, the
Really?
old actor. Yeah, it was very odd.
Wow.
I saw a whole bunch of pictures. He wore a bathing a lot.
I saw Breezy wearing it all the time, and I started to like it a lot. That's why I started buying it. I don't have any kind of feelings for him or anything like that. I just like his music. Believe me.
Yeah, you're a fan.
I'm a fan. That's as far as it goes. I got nothing against nobody.
Oh, yeah,
I keep talking about him, but I know you're in that thing. So any info I can get on my guy, I like to get.
That's nice. That's nice.
So you styled James Harden, obviously. We saw that. Now, does he wear that beard because he actually likes it, or that's just his?
That's his beard.
Yeah. But I'm saying like that's his like everybody knows him for the beard. Do you think when he retires we'll cut it off?
I don't think so.
No?
No, it's his beard.
All right, I was just asking.
Yeah, it's his beard.
Yeah, I give credit to him. He's damn good, and that's got to be a
Great.
pain in the ass to take care of.
Amazing. Oh, the beard. Yeah. Can't be that much.
Maybe just brush it.
Brush. Condition it. I don't know.
I'm glad you don't have one. I feel a little.
I don't know. You would have to get.
If you had the Harden beard right now, I kind of feel a little weird. But,
you would have to ask guys what they do. I think wash, condition, beard soap.
Yeah, I was just curious.
Yeah.
Oh, he shaves it off. He's gonna itch like hell. So
Yeah,
for him, he better never shave that boy off because he's gonna be itching.
Yeah, upkeep of it.
And then we got Serena Williams. How was she?
Amazing. Good mentor
Really?
to me too. So
Good.
a lot of how I've become this, I guess, businesswoman, mogul person is a lot due to, what I've learned from her and watched her through the years.
And she helped you out a lot.
A lot.
And do you style for her?
Mm-hmm.
Do you really?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I've heard through the grapevine that if you're not on point, you're out the door.
Mm-hmm. And late. She don't like that.
Yeah. I heard you better be on your A game, and that's it.
You're all on your A game, but why expect anything less? And so that's one of the things I learned from her is you ask for what you want, and people will always condemn you and like, oh my God, you're evil, you're a bitch, you're, excuse my language, you're this and you're that. And I'm like, I'm so confused. I just want what I want. Yeah. Because if I allow you to give me what you think is better for me, you would think I'm like that in mid-level. But if I want cookies with white chocolate chips, that's what I want. I'm not being difficult. That's just what I want. But, sometimes you deal with that, especially being a woman, and then a woman of color is like, she's being difficult.
Right. And then
No, because you're going to give me oatmeal raisin, and I don't want that. Because so now, do you want me to be difficult because I don't like oatmeal raisin, or do you want me to get what I want and everybody is happy? Pick one.
Right.
And so it becomes a lot of that. And I've learned from her to just like always ask for what you want, and just, I don't want to say never back down because it's not that. It's just you get what it is by putting your first foot forward. And, it's all on delivery, how you say it, of course, but don't ever back down for someone because they want to accommodate how they feel for you.
And you know more than anybody. The second you get that, you get that, I forget the word, but like when somebody, when you're vulnerable and you're like, I really want the cream cookie, but I'll eat the oatmeal.
Well, I'll eat it. They already know. They're like, I'm about to say this in her contract. She's not even going to notice.
Right. And in your industry, I would assume, and even lesser that, men and women that are working their way up to be where you're at, just that one time that just they take some, then it just gets around the block, right? Mm-hmm. That, Kesha's.
That's easy. Vulnerable. Yeah, just ask her.
She's a pushover.
Yeah, she'll do it. And you don't ever, and it's not so much as you like that one thing and you become a pushover. It just sets a tone.
Right. That's right.
It sets the tone of the characteristic of pushovers.
Right. And it also sets the tone by the way you're doing it, that I know my value. I didn't just wake up and end up standing next to Serena Williams and James Harden. I worked my ass off to get here. A lot of sweat. I mean, that Sony thing could have killed you right then and there.
Yep.
You got lucky, but you still could have went home and say, man, I lost the job. Because somebody could tell you whatever they want to tell you, because you could have taken it as the Sony guy was just giving you his time because he felt bad.
Because he felt bad, right?
Right? Mm-hmm. And it could have went a whole different way, but you took it. you swallowed it, you cried, you dealt with it, and you kept going on.
Kept going.
And so the people that say, oh, well, you know, Serena's this or Kesha's this or whatever it may be, well, you don't know about the 15 years that it took to get to this point.
And it's okay to be that person.
So if you want a cookie with some freaking
white chocolate,
green chocolate, purple chocolate,
yep.
Go find me purple. Right? Well, you want your guests to look.
Yeah, but don't give me oatmeal raisin because you're like, oh, it's a cookie.
I would say this. I would say, look, if you could you get me some like white cookie, right? And then when they come in, hey, we're out of white cookie. We only have oatmeal. No, that's not what I asked for.
That's not what I asked for. But that becomes you being difficult. You know that, right?
Well, that's what right.
But
it's a double-edged sword.
Yeah, and you're like, how?
Yeah. Especially if you ask them like ahead of time. Like, you can't go down the fucking store and get me some.
And that's what happens. Yeah, and that's what happens. Funny we're using cookie as an analogy, but it's like the safest way and what everything else that I always ask for.
Yeah, I remember I had a friend that was hanging out with Usher a lot. And he needed. Did you ever do anything with Usher?
No.
He wanted all his M&Ms separated by color. So like,
I understand that.
Like yeah,
I only like green M&Ms. They taste different.
Yeah, he would want them all separated in color. And his boy, who was a friend of one of my friends, he'd be like, I'd have to sit there. He got comp tickets though, you know.
But it's like
shit. It's Usher, and this is when he was doing. This was around the time like
I don't want to do this.
Like you got it bad, you know. And when Lil Jon came out with him, so he was on fire. So I'm like, man, quit complaining. You're with Usher. Count as M&Ms. Count as ice cubes if you want. So what the hell?
Yeah, you applied for the job.
And then you also do Lala Anthony. How's she?
She's sweet. One of the nicest. Oh my God.
Are they still separated? Her and
I don't know.
Come on. None of my business anyway.
None of mine.
That's exactly.
She's really sweet. She's really great to work with. And when she wanted to become a fashion girl, she came to me. But of course, pandemic put everything on pause. And now she's acting like full time now. But when she wanted to be, the girl at the Met and this fabulous, and they came to me because of the connections I have.
She really blew up. She's not bad either.
Very nice person.
I think she'll eventually get a good role, like a really good role in a movie. But now it kind of seems like the series are better.
The series are way better. You said it earlier how things go. Yeah.
I'll say
with
it.
With the right network.
4 or 5 guys I know that dealt with Netflix. Did them dirty. And what are you going to do once you sign that thing?
Nothing.
And a couple of them were with lawyers because it looks good, but even a lawyer, these guys are Netflix. They're $1 billion companies, so that $500K that maybe you spent on a lawyer,
it's not going to be.
They're worth $1 billion. They got better ones that can word things that your $500K
so
don't know.
Stars, HBO, Disney, ABC. You go to different networks and stuff, and that's kind of where you get your episode deals because those are what's winning the Academy Awards now, right?
Yeah. And you also did Jaheim. I don't know why he doesn't get more publicity.
That was a long time ago.
Y'all
put that on there? Yeah, that was a long time ago. Oh no, it's okay. It was just it's a good R&B artist. He definitely was a lot of fun to work with, and I worked with him on the tail end of like his last album.
And he's with Birdman, right? Baby Cash Money. Is that right?
Jaheim?
Yeah. No. Why doesn't he release more stuff? He's pretty good. I don't know. And you did that, and then you also did Chris Bosh, Andre Iguodala. He's good, man. He beat my Lakers a few times.
When?
When he was with Golden State.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, but the Lakers weren't the Lakers then. What they are now.
I know, but I'm just...
Kobe was there.
Well, that's what I'm talking about.
You would do Warriors in Cleveland.
I'm talking about when Kobe was there.
Yeah. Well, everybody was beating that team.
I know. Hey, he was. They were, but...
Kobe was leaving. It's crazy. I had... what game was it? It was the Warrior... Remember when they were winning that record? They had that, game... I went to... There was that game that was on, and then the Lakers, Kobe's last game that was on. And I remember being at the Warriors game, watching they beat their record, but also watching on my phone.
Oh wow!
Kobe's last game, all at the same time.
Yeah, and they kind of gave
it
him
literally
that last
both
10.
ended at the same time.
Did it?
It was just because they were both West Coast games.
Yeah.
And so they both, and they were both home games for both of those teams. Yeah. And those games were on at the same time. And I remember being in the stands watching the Warriors.
Yeah.
And then, but having the Kobe game on my phone.
That's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
So she's
Yeah,
a super fan, it seems like.
Who?
You.
With what?
NBA super fan?
Am I a super fan?
Yeah, NBA, like you seem to be.
I have to be knowledgeable. It's not so much
You're
as
around,
being,
yeah, you're
I'm
around these
around,
people.
and all of these things I've attended.
Yeah,
I've won 2 championships with Chris Bosh. I've won 2 championships with Andre Iguodala, and then just one with PJ. So I have 5 rings.
you got 5. Yeah.
What was Kobe's meme?
Yeah. You got it right there. And then Jordan would be like, that's what Jordan would do. Yeah.
I'm like this with Kobe.
Yeah. So you had a good time at the NBA Finals this year, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now, did you see a big difference being that it was kind of just coming out of the COVID?
No.
No difference.
Not one.
None.
It actually was insane, and I got tested the next day.
Were you a little bit like worried?
I mean, you're in the moment and you're not, but it's Milwaukee. I love you as a city, I guess.
I guess
You walk in to the arena, and the entrance to the arena was covered by 60,000 people. And so
I think I
I'm
would be
like,
tested.
how am I supposed to? She was like, I mean, you could walk to the crowd or you could just stand on this line. And I'm like, but it's 7:30. The game starts in 30 minutes. This line is not a 30-minute line. This is a 2-hour line. So it was very confused. She was like, I mean, you can walk through the crowd. And I'm like, that's 60,000. Why would y'all have a crowd blocking the front of the arena? She was like, well, some people could get through it. No. So
I'd love to talk.
So my friend saw a friend, and
I'll
he's
tell you,
like, yo,
tell me.
we can go tip him. I bet you he'll let us in through the back. And we kind of just went.
got in, right? You would have got in at halftime.
Exactly. Ridiculous. Missed the whole thing. We made it in just in time, too. Like, it was just like, I was confused. So, no, there actually was not a difference.
Same as
between
always.
It was literally same as always.
That's awesome. I think it's bullshit anyway. I said that, not you. I think it's just like the flu. And there's just not like.
Have you had it?
COVID?
Uh-huh.
Hell no.
Oh, I had it.
You had it?
Mm-hmm.
How bad was it?
It is a shock to your body. I had it last year. I wasn't able to stay awake. Couldn't taste, couldn't smell. Yeah, it was bad. 16 days.
Damn, it lasted 16 days.
16 days from a positive to a negative test.
So what would, I asked this whenever I run into somebody that has it. So like, what were the first type of symptoms you noticed that something was
Felt like
wrong?
I had allergies.
Allergies?
And I kept taking Zyrtec.
Did you?
I was taking Zyrtec like every 2 hours because I'm
Like
like,
candy?
I'm like, it has to be this. And then I remember, I think mint tea is a herbal allergy.
Yeah.
I thought I had really bad allergies.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. I would never forget.
What, coughing?
More so, it was like, sinus congestion.
Mm-hmm.
So basically, what that sinus congestion seemed like, it was knocking my senses out.
Okay, and then you lose the smell and the taste.
And you completely lose that.
And then you lose energy, right?
You lose
Like you can't get out of bed.
you could get out of bed. You're just sleeping wherever you are.
Really?
So,
But you can't run around, right? Like you.
what I did was, and this is just all me reading it. It definitely says to walk if you could, because you want to keep your lungs moving. I used to at the time I was doing 29-mile bike rides, like easy. I couldn't even pass 1.5. But I would try and attempt, with the constraints of not being around people, I would try and attempt to at least try to do like a mile every 2 days or while I was in the house, because I was just in the house, and then I couldn't be around my dogs because they ask you not to be around your pets, so they're in another room.
So you went from 29 miles on the bike
To
to barely doing
1.5
every other day.
Yep.
So it really rocked you.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I'm okay. I can do it now, yes, of
Yeah.
course, but I'm just saying during the process.
Yeah, when you had when
when
it
you
was
had
active.
it, yeah, and you'll get up. Everything is regular as normal. Get up in the morning. Thank God, for me, get up. Everything was regular, and then I would sit at my desk and I'd fall asleep at my desk.
Really?
I'd put food on forget I put food on because you can't smell it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you are one of the things I couldn't drink water.
Why?
Because food is off of the taste of memory. So I can't remember what water tastes like.
Gotcha.
So I did frozen Pedialyte. That was the best thing. Frozen Pedialyte and celery juice was the two things that quenched my thirst.
Yeah, celery juice it's really good for you too.
It's really nasty if you can taste, and I couldn't taste.
I know. It's nasty, but it is really good for you.
Yeah, so that's what I did every morning. Well, Pedialyte throughout the day, celery juices in the morning.
What's your opinion on it? I mean, do you think it's just like a bad flu? I mean, like if you don't have a pre-existing condition, I mean, it's pretty unlikely that you're going to go.
Yes and no. You kind of don't know. So a lot of times at night, I was like afraid I don't know what would happen in sleep. But is it like the flu? It's just it's just a experience your body is not used to, the aches and the pains, and it feels like I worked out a lot. I work out a lot, but it felt like I worked out more, and I was just very tired, and I'm not a tiresome person. Like
You're ready to go.
I'm ready to go. So it was frustrating in that part because I couldn't, when you can't control what's going on with you and you're like,
I had to drive you nuts.
It drove me
because I could see you're on the move all the time.
It drove me crazy. And so I think that's what drove me crazy and what drove me to be like frustrated a lot about having it. But thank God I went from positive to negative. This was last year. So
good. Congratulations. I'm happy for you. Feel perfectly fine. Now,
everyone was like, this is fake. I can't believe it. And I'm like, I have it now. And they're like, oh my God, are you okay?
Did you get the thing? Did you get the vaccine? Did you get sick?
I got tired a few hours and then I was fine.
Oh, that was it? Mm-hmm. Which one did you get?
Is it okay to say? Yeah.
Pfizer. Fuck them. Yeah. Pfizer. Yeah. Pfizer, yeah.
I did Pfizer.
Yeah, I know my friend got the other one, the Model one or whatever.
Moderna.
And that one rocked him for like 2 or 3 days.
He was down? Yeah.
Yeah, not like real bad, but
you're just slower.
Yeah.
And I hate to be slower. I'll take coffee and then now I'm up. And nothing works to pick you up. You're just literally just slower.
Yeah,
and
I can see you going nuts over that.
I'm like, dude, I can't be slow.
Yeah. You're probably just going like this just to move something.
Right. And I just want to, before I work out, I take pre-workouts. I'm a up girl.
Yeah.
And, then I do the 6 week of not being on any of that stuff to get it out your body and then start again because I don't ever want to get immune to it because I like the way it makes me feel to get up. And
you don't want to build up a tolerance.
Yeah, so I know you got to wean off and wean on. And so I even do that. And those are even easier than dealing with you really can't do anything. Like I was like, when I had it, I was like, well, maybe if I take a pre-workout, I'll feel better. All I'm doing is getting the BA tingles and not moving anywhere and going to sleep.
Yeah, you're dealing with the side effects from that damn Hindi HCl, right? That makes you want to crawl out of your damn skin.
Yeah, and the only thing to solve that is if you sweat and run.
And move, yeah.
And you can't because you're like this. You're falling asleep, so I'm like this. Why did I do that?
Meanwhile, the guy across from you, this is number 6 for today. I'm like, monsters.
Yeah, right?
I'm all day. I hit the shit all day long. Well, I'm glad you got through that, and I'm glad. But now they're starting to talk about wanting to close it up again. I don't know. Whatever. Who knows? Just gotta live with it. Oh, we gotta get out of here.
I couldn't.
Especially in your field. No concerts.
I remember when the NBA said it was shutting down. I was in the gym.
He was thinking about that too. He was close. The bald-headed alien.
I was in the gym and working out. And what game was it? It was a Chris Paul. So it was like Oklahoma City and I think Phoenix Suns. And they're like, yeah, that's what Oklahoma City and Utah. It was that game. And I'm in the gym. It's like 9 o'clock. And, of course, you're just watching on TV. You're not listening. So I see it, but there's like a commotion on the court. And I was like, oh, watch. I was like, I knew this was coming. They're going to suspend this game. They suspended the game. And I'm like, oh, shit. Oh, my God. Game suspended. 5 minutes later, whole NBA suspended. And I'm like, I don't have a job.
Yeah. It can happen like that.
It happened. I watched literally from there to there 9 minutes.
Yeah, I remember when
standing there in the gym, no words because I'm watching this happen. And so, what was that, like March 17, 20, something like that? Yeah, I'd never forget that.
Yeah, I remember when it came on ESPN, I go, what? Like there was nobody in the stands anyway.
Nothing.
I don't.
No, there were still people in the stands. There was a lot of people in the stands.
But when COVID was hard, like when it was hitting hard.
When they canceled the NBA?
No, when they still had the NBA going on, but there was like they had.
Oh, when
like,
it was back and forth. Oh, the fake fans. And
the
virtual
fake fans.
and stuff. Yeah.
I mean, they're all tested before they go out there.
Yeah, you are, but then you just get positive because you don't know where you can pick it up from.
Yeah,
because anybody can talk, and I guess you could pick it up.
I don't know. I say let them play. Let
Not
them choose to play.
Because you can't. Because imagine me 29 miles a bike ride and then 1.5.
But I mean, don't shut down the league because somebody got it or whatever. That's just my opinion.
It'll go faster.
If they shut down the league?
No, if you keep touching people.
Oh, I know, but I just want to watch basketball. I'm sorry, I want to watch basketball.
You're being selfish because
I am being selfish.
Watch basketball.
But I'm not getting $100 million from Michael or from Nike. You give me $100 million, I'll go out there and touch.
You can't. I promise you can't. I tried everything to.
No. I mean, if not, I'm saying like I'll play and take the risk. Not if I'm not playing.
I
with
understand,
COVID.
but that's what a lot of them would be playing with it because if that person have it and don't know it yet,
and it spreads like wildfire.
So now somebody has it. Now everybody on the court, and now nobody's playing.
All right.
I'm telling you, 29 miles.
You win. Destroyed again by another one. What else? I should just be Tommy. He tries to make a point with a woman and loses every time.
It's hard. It really is. I wouldn't say it wasn't if I could ride my bike.
I just want to watch basketball.
You better watch flashbacks then.
Well, I got the NBA channel, so I could watch that.
You could go watch highlights if you wanted to watch it.
So without offending anybody that you dealt with, and I don't know if you can do it, so don't do it if you did. What would you say is your the biggest celebrity that you've dealt with, styled, whatever? And I don't know if you want to answer that because they're probably all equal.
So I never answer that question. I never answer who's my favorite. I never answer who's difficult. I never, because I feel like it's just
not fair.
It's not that it's not fair. It's kind of like you ask it. I got 3 kids, and you're asking me which one is my favorite and which one is difficult. It's like what? They're my kids. I'm gonna tell you, but they're my kids.
I was just gonna say I'd tell you.
I was just gonna say it, but
I'll tell you, but don't tell nobody.
But no, I don't. I never have I don't judge it by because one person could be a superstar to me, but to you, you're like, really? That's who you thought it was?
Yeah.
It always get that, or I know this person is your favorite, and it's like because they're having their moment. I'm gonna post them a lot. They're having their moment, so this person, they're.
So in other words, you don't care if it's John Doe or Serena. If they treat you good, they're all the same.
Yeah, everybody.
I like that.
You want to get treated the best because you could get some really nasty people all the time that don't know how to treat anyone in a service they provide for them. And it's like, do you take it or do you leave with your morals? So it's like, you judge with that and you're like, you know what, I can't do this job because you want to be in it for fun. So those are the people that you don't want to deal with it. Those are the ones who will never be a favorite. But everybody else, all my clients are always going to be grouped together because I like them and love them equally.
To be honest with you, I asked you that because I knew you want to answer it. And I could tell that you could care less if it's, ding dong down the street or
it's gonna be my
whoever.
Favorite, yeah.
Yeah, as long as they treat you right and they take care of you and you have a good relationship, what does it matter?
Yeah, it becomes intimidating, especially when you want to get new clients because then they're like, wow, look at her roster. Like you get intimidated, like I won't ever be a part of that. And it's like, that's not true.
That's cool.
You are part of this. You are going to be mentioned in those articles with that because you are part of what's making me become this revolving thing. And, at one point, these clients were here too. There was a point when they were there or they weren't playing or they did this or brink of or whatever it is. But, I never discount someone because of they make more money here. They're not on the better team and they're the status and stuff. When I'm with that client, I'm with them. Like, you're getting my 100%.
And you make that decision on your own, not of what they got in the bank account. So, in other words, hypothetically speaking, if a guy named Terry that wanted you to fit him that said your name wrong, he's just Terry. Just because he's just Terry and not, James Harden.
But also Terry has to also be realistic.
Yeah.
He's not James, So you can't go, well, why I'm not on red carpets. You also have to be logically realistic in this.
Yeah.
Also.
Right.
So, and also you're not going to pay what his fee is.
Right.
So let's also be realistic. So you'll be there, But even if you do, that means you're being snotty about it just to say my name. And I also don't want to be around people like that. So, you know, so it's different things. But, you know, I have clients of all shapes, sizes.
You got your shit together. I like that. I like that you don't care who it, you know, I like
It's not that I don't care. It just doesn't matter to me as much.
Yeah, I guess care isn't the word. Meaning that.
I say care.
You're not starstruck. Let's just say that.
No.
Right. You're not starstruck. So everybody's equal. It doesn't matter, you know?
Yep.
Okay. So now to your book, you know, so get it more into the book. I understand why you wrote the book, and then tell me what it's about, you know, for a man or a woman, and we'll pull it up where you can get it and go over all that.
The essential how-to guide in styling and understanding your business. You can get it on Amazon. You can get a hard copy, personalized and signed by me on my site. I basically, during the pandemic, I realized so many people were bored. And one of the questions with bored people is like, you know, I want to take up a new hobby. I want to leave my job and I want to do something. And I want to do what you do, Kesha. But what it is what I do, and we've explained this earlier in the show, it's not the same. And then I also realized that there isn't any updated material on what it's like to be a stylist. Everything is outdated. It's like 2009. It's telling you not to mix black and blue or black and brown, telling you not to wear white after Labor Day. It's things like that. And it definitely never touched on, all right, I'm a stylist. What else? You know, what's next? And how do I get my clients? That's one of the things everybody want to know. Like, how can I get my clients? How do I put myself out there? Or, okay, how can I get paid? And what's an appropriate amount to ask for? And how do I ask for my money without offending another person? One, that should never be offensive when you're asking for money, but a lot of people ask that. You know, how can I do that? What is a legal binding agreement in conversations? Like, what is that called?
That's
like,
huge,
you know,
right?
like, yeah, so you can request a deal memo to where you put all the ins and outs, like this is what it is and this is what it costs. And it's okay to negotiate. Like, that's fine. You know, what terms stylists use? What's a product request letter? What does that look like? What is the deal memo look? What are all of these things that look like? And and then a glossary on terms of words we use, like looks and different things, and give them that, how to become incorporated or limited liability or partnership or whatever it is, and all of that little terminology. I give it to you of how I would say it and explain it to you and what's best for you or what you think is best for you. I give you all of that. So you get that. So you're not necessarily getting, hey, I went to school here and this is what I did. I got fired out of Sony and now I'm a stylist and everything is great.
I work with James Harden.
Oh my God, it's amazing, because it wasn't that. But what were the things that a part of my journey that I pulled apart that actually someone can also take and go, oh, okay, I see what I did wrong. Do you know there are so many people that don't account for their expenses and they eat those charges. And it's like, it's okay to collect it. And it's like, well, why? Because you said so? Well, you can also go to the law or Google and figure that out. But I'm telling you that, yes, it's fine. You know, and so I also say that, like, yeah, you can Google it. If you don't believe me, then just Google it. And it's like, wow, I didn't know that. Or what's an assistant day rate? Because I was going to charge somebody $100. Why would you do that? Because if you were to scratch that, here's an example. So I did a master class, and I had a young woman in my class, and at the time she was working with Louis Vuitton. And I was like, okay, so I'll take that. So I was like, let's say you lose your job, right? You lose Louis Vuitton, and now you are looking for a job. Forever 21 called you. Would you? Absolutely not. I would never take that. I don't want to work there. Then you already know your worth. So you already know what you're willing to get out of bed for and what you're not willing to get out of bed for. Apply that to your passion. What are you willing to get out of? You know it in your head, what is fair and what time you're putting into it. If you're going to work 10 hours for the day, how much do you want to get paid for those 10 hours? You know, nothing is disrespectful if you honestly just look at what you want to get paid. And I don't think anybody breaks down all of those minutes and all of those hours of everything you put in there, like, okay, I want to ask for this. This is how much I want to get paid.
Well, it sounds like the whole combo altogether. And it's for a man or
a woman. Yeah,
also.
absolutely.
So,
yeah. So I'm not giving you like style tips like, oh my God, and then put this jacket on with this. It's definitely not a book for that. If you want that, there are plenty of those books, tons of them.
So this is like a broad book, right, of kind of like a step-by-step guide.
Of developing the structure.
Developing your structure. whether man, woman, it doesn't matter or whatever. And
Whatever age.
and it's kind of like you're almost like paying it forward. If we go back to the Sony guy, right? He gave you those tips, you took them with you, and now it's kind of a base that led you to further things. So now you're kind of like paying it forward, where now you have this book that's for anyone who's interested in it, even
for years to come.
For years to come, and anyone in general, just maybe if you want to know if you can still wear gold and silver. I only realized 3-4 years ago you can wear gold and silver. Remember?
Yeah.
Like, had to be gold,
Rose gold. And,
rose gold.
Look at this.
Yeah.
It doesn't. And so there are a lot of books out there that say this is wrong. And it's like, why are we even talking about this right now?
Remember, it used to be a big thing?
It used to be, or black and brown.
Black and brown, right? Yeah, you couldn't wear like brown shoes with like a gray, and it looks a hell of a lot better with brown, like a light brown.
Yeah, now that you're thinking about it, you're like, wait, it's way better. And those are the Stylist books that are out there, and that isn't teaching me anything. It's not. I can't pay my bills with knowing that silver doesn't go together. I don't know. It's the last time you paid your bills with knowing that black and brown you could wear that.
Yeah,
right, unless you guys know that, then let me know. But tell it to me. What can I do? And so a lot of that, it's kind of like the education of it all, and not intimidating education. It was, this is what I did. And when I didn't do it that way, here are the mistakes I made, but I promise you it's this way. And this is basis. And I also learned that what is for me is mine. That's it. So if anything leaves and goes away and you feel like you can take my client or whatever it is, then that wasn't for me. And I believe I always look at a glass like more so half full than half empty of losing an opportunity.
Yeah. I like that. And I think it from what it sounds like is that it if you read the book, you understand your true value, right?
That's it.
Once you get through it, you stop taking the shit
Nonsense.
that you really don't want, that is not going to further your career.
Yeah, and that's all you're looking at is like all of the things that are damaging to you. You're like, oh, I keep doing all of this stupid, but you're taking it.
Right, you're taking like no offense to Forever 21, whatever, but if your goal was to be where Kesha's at one day, I don't think you're going to put Forever 21 on your portfolio, right? When you can just wait it out, keep working, and get into a Saks part-time or a Nordstrom's, right? Or something lower level, but high end.
Yep, you are exactly
because then even if it's like a Nordstrom's, which is kind of the lower of like the Neiman and
but
Saks,
it's a way in.
But it's a way in. So Nordstrom's is there enough where you could put it on, and then maybe you go over to Saks, get part time. Now you got Saks and Nordstrom. That looks pretty good, right? To start to get in. And your book kind of paves the way of how to get to that point.
Understanding that part.
To understand that, not to take some bullshit that maybe later in life may come back to bite you in the ass, right? So it's a real good book to get. You can get it on Amazon.com. You got the Kindle because nobody wants to actually.
What?
I missed the newspaper.
I like books. See, I like books, and so
I want my newspaper and my cigar days back.
You can also go on my site kmcme.com, and you can get a hard copy, and I personalize those. I write a little note, and then I sign those as well, and I mail those out.
Can you pull up those? KMC.com?
KMCME. And it's going to be upper right corner. Wait, y'all didn't go to my site?
He didn't send me your site.
No way. That's my site. Yeah, upper right corner where it says purchase. Yeah.
Where the client list from?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, you would go there. Upper right where it says purchase the book. Yep, click that.
Okay, we got mugs, hardcover.
Yeah, I'm not sending those out anymore. I got tired of putting those boxes together. I'm sorry, guys.
What, the mugs?
The mugs, the hardcover, and the pens and stuff. If
I bet you sold a lot of mugs.
Oh, my God. I'm just not doing that no more.
I think you should. They're big.
I know.
Big. Yeah, just put them. Just hire somebody.
So how did you get your deal? How did you get the book deal? Like, how did you?
I self-published.
That's the way to do it. Amazon prints it for you, right?
Yeah, Amazon prints it for you.
Yeah.
Self-published. I have my cousin she used to work at Adobe, and she got furloughed last year, and I was like, hey, I want to start doing so. We was just like meeting under minds. She's like, you should do like a booklet or something. And I was like, oh. And it turned into this. And I found a printer that printed hardcover books. Amazon took my book and because they got to approve it and they read it over. It takes like 3 days or something like that. Yep.
And they ship quick too when you do it. But I mean, I read if you're gonna get it from your website.
You get it from my website, so you can get a hard copy and you get it signed. But you can also get it from Amazon.
And the mugs are coming back in stock.
You keep saying that.
You got to get them mugs.
It was everyone's like, oh my God, you can hire somebody to do that, and I'm like, I'm a stylist full time. I could do all of this during the pandemic when I have nothing to do.
Yeah, but then when things start back up,
things are starting back up, and then you got 100, 200 book orders to send out, and it's like, all right, I gotta wait, and I gotta sign all of those.
Oh, poor you. How about I give you a cookie with the white icing on top? Then you sign $100. I would get him a whole bag. Then you'll be throwing 35 miles tomorrow on that bike.
But I do appreciate everyone going to get it on my website because it is a better looking book. It becomes a coffee table book. It's chicer. The one on Amazon is kind of pretty much like a hand booklet. So like if you're giving it to some friends to learn, like you're adding it to a basket. It's a really good gift for that up and coming stylist. You learn a little family history about me and things like that.
So if you want Kesha's book, you're not going to go to Amazon because she has to give it. But she's got to give it. Tommy's saying this, not her. She's got to give a kick to Amazon. So go to kmcme.com and order the book. She'll sign it for you. And then if you want to listen to it, then I guess you can use Amazon. But she's got to kick up to Amazon if you buy it from Amazon. So go to her site, kmcme.com, and there's where you don't want to go, but because we want Kesha to get the most out of it.
Thank you.
And you got the Audible, and she's laughing, so good to go. So check her out. All this will be in the description, Facebook, Instagram. I'll put everything in there for you, and if you think of anything more that you want added, let me know, and I'll put it in.
Yeah, I will.
And remember, the woman's nice enough to answer your question. Don't bang her with a novel. Just, hey, Kesha, how are you?
I'm sending them to you first, so you be like, out of here. Nope.
Listen
you
to
look
me.
like you're going to be honest.
Listen to me. I won't even read it.
You might
if it's more than one sentence, I'm not even looking. If I even look, I'm the worst with that. So you don't want me any part of that shit.
That is so funny.
Because if they start going on that, it's sunny out type stuff.
Yep.
I really don't care if it's sunny out.
That's exactly what they do.
You know what I hate?
Outside.
When you're busy and you go and you get in the car and somebody picks you up, maybe somebody's driving you, and you don't want to be bothered, and you know what they go? How's your day, Kesha? What'd you do today?
Mm-hmm.
Was work fun today?
Mm-hmm.
Bye-bye. And really, you just want to sit in the car.
I have a question. Do you say what you do for a living to just people who ask?
Yeah, like during the day I do marketing. So I do like SEO, ranking, whatever, and then
See, I don't. I tell people I build closets.
Yeah.
That's what I say every time. Everybody, because if I say I'm a stylist, it sounds like more questions.
More questions.
So when I say I build closet, it kind of just shuts it down. They were like, "Oh, what do you mean?" I was like, I build them.
Yeah.
And they're like, "Interesting."
That's a good move.
And then it stops.
If I was you, I wouldn't. But I say I'm a marketer. Oh, you're just another marketer. I do YouTube.
I don't want to do that because I hear more things coming out of it. When I say I build closets. There's they're like, what? That don't make no sense.
Yeah, and then you're a girl, right?
Right. It's like, how do you
yes, I'm sexist, whatever.
Yeah.
Okay, you're a girl.
No, that's what it is, yeah.
But I'm not going to ask you anything more then because I'm just like, all right, this girl might be able to kick my ass.
Right.
You know what I mean?
You really don't know. So the most other question that follows that is like, well, how do you build closets? And I'm like, architect. And they're like, oh, so like blueprints. Okay. That's it. No more questions.
Well, I had a driver. He would drive me. And we had this rule. Don't ask me how my day is, because I'm paying cash a week, right? Mm-hmm. Don't ask me how my day is. Don't ask me what I did. Don't ask me if I want to stop for anything. Just sit in the car and drive. And do not take your shortcuts. Just go on the
because I'm estimating this time too. Yeah.
And go on 95. Mm-hmm. We are not going to go over 9,000 speed bumps when I'm on a computer. No shortcut. I mean, there literally had to be a whole
thing. Yeah, no, I know.
Because when you're working on it, you don't want to be bothered. Mm-hmm. This is my time to relax.
Same thing. Yeah, and so that's how I came up with because people would ask, and sometimes I'm like dressed up, and they're like, "Oh my God, what do you do? Are you like a model?" No, I build closets.
I build closets.
And they're like, "Huh."
James Harden, who's that?
Nope. I don't even exactly. I don't even go into that. And they're like, "Oh, who you build closets for? Regular people." Oh.
When you get recognized, what do you do then?
I don't get recognized. Yeah. Everyone thinks I get recognized.
You will, recognized.
Yeah.
You will. Well, you're getting more of these magazines. COVID's over. Your clientele's getting bigger. Oh, look at right. You better start doing the whole hat and glasses thing.
I build closets.
You get a.
Are you that person? I'm not. I don't even know who you're talking about. I build closets.
You get like a bucket hat and big.
And I say it low.
Bucket hat and Johnny Depp sunglasses. They won't even ask you. And some like real bright shirt.
And don't say anything. Yep, I do it all the time.
All right, Kesha, thank you for your time.
Oh, thank you. This was really amazing. Like really, really good.
I
really
appreciate it. I know
Thank
you're busy. Never enough time in the day.
I actually 746. What mall is over here?
So you got the Gardens Mall, which is about 15 minutes that way.
Is it?
Where do you want?
Oh, it's close. But they close at 8.
You got Boca. You could get to Boca maybe in. If we get out of here right now, you can get to Boca
What
by
about
8:30.
Aventura Mall?
You'll never make it there.
Oh,
Boca's
damn.
Boca has all the high end stuff. Gardens is closer. That's about 15,
but they close
20
at
minutes.
8.
The fuck? They're still doing that 8 o'clock shit?
Yeah, that's what it is.
Go to Boca.
Yeah, I wish they closed at 9.
It's Boca.
Someone confirm that for me.
Yeah, I'll look at it. Yeah, we'll look before we go.
Yeah, because if it closed at 9, then I'll make it.
What store are you looking for?
I'm just
scouting. Okay.
Yeah, 8 o'clock. I'll be fine.
Boca's 8 o'clock too? Damn, I need to get off this, man.
What happened
It's
at
too long.
9:30?
What happened? I mean, it's over. Doing it at 8 o'clock.
That's
I don't know.
really weird.
Well, I guess that's the end of that.
Well, then, yeah. I'm going back. Probably just get something to eat.
Yep. All right. Well, thank you for your time.
Thank you. This
Get
was
that book from her site.
Thank you. This was really amazing.
And email her 100 times to get more coffee mugs.
Oh, man. I'll change my email before
You could be like, that asshole Tommy.
I see all those emails. I'm changing my email. I'm that person. I'll change my number in my email.
All right. Thank you so much. I appreciate your time.
Yes, of course.